Welcome back, everyone, to another prototype square. Stick. Claw, claw, motherfuckers. No! Hello? Anyone home? Jade? Anybody? Oh, hello, sir. I'm looking for the man they called the mayor. Is that you? Fuck. Oh, silly me, of course you are. It says so right there on your handsome sash. How nice it is to meet you. I was told this is where Jade is sleeping. Do you know where she is? There you are. She looks so peaceful. How odd it is to think that she's still in the dream bubble with my other self's ghost. What could they be talking about? The curiosity is maddening. Please hurry back, Jade. Your friends all miss you here. So, where exactly are we going? Back to the source of all this. Where is that? You know already. Well, wherever it is, I'm kind of wondering if maybe I should be waking up soon. I feel like my friends are probably going to need me. You can't wake up just yet. Why? It's not time. Not where your physical form is, at least. Where my physical form is? Then what about here? What about here? Ugh, sorry, this time stuff is really confusing. You're a space player. Yeah, I mean, if it's not the right time to wake up where I'm sleeping, how long do I have to wait here in order to wake up? The correlation between the passage of time and the furthest string in any given physical location is tenuous. The measure of time here is inseparable from the physical passage through its knotted space. These two aspects are closely woven together here, to such an extent that they are barely separable. All aspects are. Really? All of them? Yes. I understand how this place has time and space, of course, but even if they work together weirdly, but I don't see any of the others. One doesn't see abstractions. Not directly. Oh. Each opposing pair is in balance throughout this field, so as to form a stable canvas. Though the canvas becomes less stable with each crack in the field, ordinarily one would never directly observe its constituent forces. The canvas would seem smooth from afar, but up close, as it were, the tapestry is circuitously woven. The aspects, while remaining in balance, interfere with each other. They interlock and intertwine. So neither space nor time functions linearly, nor are they conventionally measurable. Wow, I'm not sure I totally understand, but that sounds pretty interesting. You are predisposed to find the nuances of space intriguing, and since its opposing aspect is more related than you perhaps have realized, the challenges of understanding it are more compelling to you than you realize as well. Yeah, I guess so. Physics are all about space and time and such, which are fun to think about. I like all that stuff. Yes. So you're saying space and time and all other aspects, I guess, are more closely related here than in, like, more stable places like my universe. They are less distinct from each other here. Yes. You said passage of time is inseparable from traveling through space. Yes. So if we were holding still, time wouldn't move either. That is correct, in a way. Though motion itself is not the absolute process, it is a more conventional medium. The measurement of motion requires stable features for comparison, of which there are very few in the furthest ring, typically. The more cracks that appear, ironically, the more the ring begins to stabilize, at least in a spatial and temporal sense. I see. So if the cracks weren't there, how would we be able to tell if we were moving? Motion through the twisted space is not gauged by passing landmarks, but anchored to a particular destination. Destination is an idea maintained by the traveler. Ideas are subtle composites of various aspects. Without clear understanding of destination, motion becomes less discernible. With less discernible motion, passage of time becomes less measurable. At a standstill, time loses meaning and can seem to stretch on forever, as all events through reality swirl around you in no particular order. One becomes isolated from all else, imprisoned by inertia. That's pretty cool too. I love spacey stuff. Yes. You talk about it in a neat way. It kind of seems like you're trying to educate me on this, like a teacher or something. Of course that's what I'm doing. Oh. Well, not that it isn't fun talking about these cool space things, and I know you said my real body isn't supposed to be waking up yet, wherever and whenever it is, but to tell you the truth, I'd really love to get going and see my friends again. Don't you have the power to wake me up? The other Calliope said she had that power. I do have that power. Oh, so could you please wake me up then? No. Oh, why not? I told you. It's not time yet. We must reach our destination first in order for the requisite time to flow correctly. Only then. Man! Why the hurry? You've already proven your heroism in the moments when it was needed most. It is important to know when the greatest good is best served by remaining dormant. Whether that burden is for close to an eternity or only a few more minutes. It's something to learn as a space player. Space falls back. It yields. Hosts the play silently. Then it roars to life when its time comes, showing all who is really the master. And so too when the time comes, it collapses in on itself, taking all else with it. Whew. Yeah, she can be intense. Damn, Rose, I'm a fucking troll now. And part beautiful bird, and also a human boy. I don't even... Shit, Rose, my claws. Look at these fucking claws. Snick, 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 snick. OMG, Rose, look. I see your claws, Dave. They're really neat. Holy shit, I'm a goddamn debacle of a thing, aren't I? It's kind of great. I sort of love this. That's wonderful, Dave and Nepeta. I'm very happy for you both. Sigh. What's wrong, Rose? Jaspros. I mean, nothing. Saddles up to Jaspros in a coy and hella feline manner, sounding tickled as fuck through my little three-shaped snout deal. Arches back huge up and being all like bumping into Rose on my tall curved back and shit like cats do, I'm pretty sure. Fuck yeah, they do. OMG, they do that tall back thing all the time when they're happy, and I'm doing that thing right now. Dave, what do you think you're doing? Dave Petta kindly and rapidly and radly informs Jaspros he is doing a bit of role-playing, and no, not even ironically. I mean, she? Shit. What? Jaspros, yo, I'm confused about my gender suddenly? What am I now? I don't know, Dave. Well, what are you? I mean, what do you feel like now? A boy or a girl? Your cat was a boy, right? Yes, he was a boy. So what does that make you now? I don't know. I hadn't much thought about it. I think I'm probably still a girl. Cats don't have particularly deep feelings about gender or form strong identities about the idea. Okay, that's cool, but both Dave and Nepeta did have strong identities as a boy and a girl, so I don't know where that leaves me. Does it even matter? I have no idea. I just started being Dave Petta like 3 seconds ago. I'm not sure what matters to me yet. I think I do like being me, though. It's a really weird feeling. I mean, not weird, just like jarring, in contrast with how both me's spent so long feeling like. I think I know what you mean. You do? Yes, I was really having the time of my life before I became Jaspros. Well, for a while there, at least. For a while? What's wrong now? Oh, nothing. Come on, tell me. It's hard to put into meows what I'm feeling suddenly. I think it might be loneliness. Loneliness? Lone Lioness? Why? I'm here to keep you company. And Mad Hatter dude's still over there, doing whatever the fuck it is he's doing. You still have a lot of friends. I know, but since your transformation, some feelings I thought I'd put behind me at the moment of my transformation quickly returned. They were dug up from their shallow graves and left on my doorstep by... You know what? I'm not even in the mood to finish that incredibly apt analogy. You'll have to connect the dots yourself. What feelings returned? As a cat, I never had any other girl cats around to be friendly with. That was a very simple emotion with which I could probably cope if it was all that was in play. The rose half is more complicated. I have memories from a lot of roses. Is this true for you as well? I mean, memories from many Daves and Nepetas. Yeah, it sure is a clusterfuck of sad dead Daves and sad dead Nepettas in my head. It feels alright, though. Like I'm a lot more detached from those experiences than I ever felt before, but also, there's a distinct feeling of having one Dave and Nepeta stand out from the crowd of memories. The versions of Dave Sprite and Nepeta I existed as right up until we both shook hands. They still kind of feel like the main ones, you know? Yes, exactly. The Rose I was prior to this had just lost everything before she was killed. Her friends and her mate Sprite. When I came back as a Sprite, not as Jaspros yet, mind you, I was relieved to see everybody again, but it was also a melancholy return. I knew that she couldn't be with me anymore, because I was no longer the real Rose. But when I became Jaspros, everything changed again. I was a whole new being. Before me stretched a horizon full of small, distant, and slightly jostling curiosities to investigate. Because you never know when something like that might turn out to be a mouse. There were so many new possibilities. Dude, I must say I'm so stoked for the cat things you're saying. Shush, Dave, and yes, I concur about the cat things. Anyway, one of the new things that opened up to me was the idea that I didn't have to be alone anymore. That I was reborn. More thrilled to be alive than I can ever remember about being in any incarnation. And that there was someone perfect waiting for me to bring back. Another estranged soul like me, and now I guess it's all ruined. What's ruined? Never mind, Dave. Come on, tell me. Forget it. Rose. Jaspros. Damn it, you can't possibly leave the story there. Possibly. Fuck. Still getting the hang of mastering my cute as hell urge to do cat puns literally whenever it could conceivably occur to me. Literally. LeMayo, that's a good one. Jaspros. Jaspy Cat. Shit, that's a bad nickname. Sorry. Jaspros. Jaspros Sprite Squared. You were talking about Nepeta, weren't you? I mean, me, or part of me. Tell me. Tell me. Dave, she was going to be my wife. Sigh. I was? She was? Yes, Dave, I'm quite sure of it. Well, first of all, maybe you should stop calling me Dave. My name is Dave Petta now. Oh, yes, you're right. I'm sorry, Dave Petta. No offense, but the Dave part of you is sort of the flying ointment here, so when I look at you, that tends to be who I see. Yeah, that's cool. Since he became a bird, that part of me got pretty used to being a most unwelcome Dave in practically all situations, let alone when he rudely crashes a T-date through accidental body-sharing shenanigans. But now I'm like this whole new neat kind of Sprite with legs again and claws and shit, and I'd prefer that my new identity be respected, please. Yeah, I'm very sorry. I was just sad as all. Oh, I understand. You could even say I know that feel. Lolling my ass off. I love that there's this whole side of me that is all freshly tickled by even the most basic applications of irony. For instance, that was some weak sauce milk, but here I am, lapping it up. It pleases me to hear you've rediscovered the joys of entry-level irony, Dave Petta. But yeah, sorry for blowing our date, even if she wasn't sure what to make of the date. She was really flattered that you liked her, though, but I don't know if it would have led to marriage. I think y'all may have been pouncing the gun on that. I don't think so. I had it all figured out. She never had a chance to see any of my moves, though, so I guess we'll never know. I don't know, getting married isn't even a thing for trolls. It's just a figure of speech. It isn't a thing for cats either, remember? Okay, but even so, I still don't think you can I still don't think you can force something like that. We would have needed to spend more time together and stuff to find that out. Yes, we would have spent that time together and it would have turned out to be magical. Trust me. Goddamn, Rose, getting some kitty cat mixed up in you made you such a hella smugger than usual. I kind of dig it. It suits you. Does it? I mean, you were always full of yourself, but now you're owning up to it completely. Feels a lot more honest, TBH. That is, wow, actually such a nice compliment. Thank you, Dave Petta. You know, the fridge is like all fucking set up and whatnot. The tea is there. Jake's still setting the mood with his space cadet antics on a nearby hill. We could just, like, keep doing our date. What? I mean, platonically, of course. Of course, like a cat tongue. Actually, you know what? Never mind. That fucking sucked. But yeah, that's the big deal. What's the big deal? Let's keep tea partying and chatting about our unique Sprite issues and stuff. Maybe even do a smidgen of choice RPing if it strikes our fancy. I think that could turn out to be pretty cute and dope. Maybe. You know, I gotta say, the Nepeta part of me is like genuinely mystified about what the issue is. What issue? Us dating, like as in a normal romantic tea drinking date? Oh, yeah, that makes sense that she wouldn't understand. I mean, the Dave part of me is obviously all like, no, stop when I think about it. But like, really, But like that little fussy brain tantrum isn't making me feel weird or uncomfortable. It's just sort of cracking me up. That's a good way of putting it. My inner monodialogues have been very amusing to me too. I guess I'm still just a bit uncertain about my nature and beliefs and whatnot. What about you though? You're part cat, so do you really feel about that? How do you really feel about that issue? I mean, as far as both sides of me know, cats aren't too concerned with that, right? After a while, they don't see brother and sister kitties. They just see more kitties who are just like all the other kitties. Ugh. There's such a potent force within me that squirms at every word of this train of thought, Dave Petta. Good grief, Rose was such a stuffy girl, wasn't she? Yep. But yes, you're basically correct. Asking the Jasper's half about the issue would be like showing him two slightly different gray swatches and asking his opinion on which color to paint the observatory. So to answer your question, I don't really know. I really don't know about any of this. My dreams of having a beautiful troll girl for a wife were dashed moments ago, so I've been speaking from a despondent state of mind since you came to existence. But maybe what you're saying makes sense. I'll need some time to meow it over. Meow. So good. That was supposed to mean mull, right? Yes, Dave Petta, that meant mull. But yes, I agree. There's so much figuring out now. Shit be popping in my jumbled sprite brain suddenly. Popping like a bunch of silly gophers out of their fucking surprise holes. Want to murder them gophers. Because instincts. But mainly, that's just a metaphor for understanding the gophers. Want to like, get myself. How about we help each other get ourselves? Whoa, non-suggestively. Non-suggestively. I knew you weren't being suggestive. Chill out. So how would you like me to help you get yourself? I don't know, but when we were on our date, you were talking to me about stuff and I was acting all embarrassed. That was pretty cool, or at least Nepeta thought so. You mean about her liking car cats and such? Yeah, you know what crazy is. Even in my new form, I don't even feel conflicted about that. It sort of feels right still. I would have thought I'd be a mess of contradictions about that, but nope. Weird, right? If you say so. Not that I'm saying I should act on that or anything. It's like you were saying about being the odd rose out, and when you get Jaspered, everything changed. These are brand new lives for us, so it feels like I should try leaving the old stuff behind. But that means I also gotta figure out what to do with my life now. Or my pseudo-life. Whatever the hell it is you do when you're a sprite squared. Then what do you want to do with your pseudo-life? Oh man, you're gonna think this is crazy for me even saying it. I already think we're both crazy. I have this weird urge... I already think we're both crazy. I have this weird urge to go fight Lord English. What the fuck? I know, right? I'm just strangely drawn to the idea. I wasn't at all before as a really depressed bird version of Dave. And Nepeta didn't even know who he was until recently, but now it sounds cool suddenly. I feel like the exact blend of people I am is being that he should be in some way be vulnerable to. I can't even explain why I feel that way. Well, you have to follow your heart, I suppose. Dave Petta stealthily stalks their heart as it minds its own business, beating at the bank of a nearby stream. They crouch into one of those quintessential cat poses with their butt in the air. Dave Petta starts wiggling their ass furiously. Gets mildly distracted by wiggling of his own ass. Becomes more intrigued by movement of ass than beating of heart. Is this what we're doing now? Nah, I'm just messing. Okay. I think if we're going to make a habit of role-playing, I would like to script out some scenarios in advance. I'm concerned that too much improvisation could end up muddying the narrative. LMAO, okay, you go right ahead and do that. So, what do you want to do now? You're not to fight English right away, are you? Nah, I don't think so. There's no hurry. The dude's whole shtick is being basically eternal and always being already here or whatever, wherever he is. In this case, I guess it just means out there somewhere. I think there are a few things I want to take care of here before I sink my claws into that grade A slab of beef prey. Like what? There's somebody I'd like to catch up with first. Who? Just a couple of bros from the past. I think they'd want to see me before I go. Or at least be made aware I exist at all as a badass double sprite. Alright, please give these bros my best then. I will. Meanwhile, sprite powers. Deploy grist rig. Bonk. Grist spew. Oh, makes sense. I thought it looked kind of like an oil derrick, and I guess that makes sense. Like it drills all the way down into the grist hoard, and then spews all that grist into Skya to provide it with the nutrients necessary in order to feed the Genesis frog. Sup? Damn. I thought our houses were pointlessly tall before. It just doesn't stop from keep constantly getting more and more vertically enormous. Shit's downright precipitous at this point. Like, upways, I mean. Yeah. We sure made us fuck not to come right out and literally describe that building as tall. Hell yes. Who needs the small and serviceable adjectives when the most ass-backwards way of saying a thing is right there, tantalizingly hidden within the vast ocean of language, like a treasure in a huge shitty clam. We are way on the same we are way on the same page philosophically here. Who is surprised by this? 0 people is who. Sounds like a club for losers to me. They're lucky they don't have any members, otherwise they'd all be lame as hell. Yeah. So, why do the houses need to be so tall again? I never actually understood that, except to reach the gates, but once we all figured out how to fly and shit, that became so fucking pointless. Yeah, after a while in the game, building kind of stopped mattering, except near the end. Getting them to the top is just a point of completion. Then you dump the grist rig on top of it, apparently. That lets the thing spray out all the grist from the horde and the planet's core. Kind of like a huge oil derrick, I guess. Oh, how do you know this? Do you guys, like, have a manual or something? I'm in communication with Arqueous Sprite. He's working on it now. So you're in communication with him, like, right now? Yes, via my shades. Which he incidentally used to be. Like, as a computer, which he lived inside as my autoresponder. Right. And, why did you make that thing again? Not that you ever told me before. Again is just like a stammering tack on to its sentences to try to not sound too fucking rude. I don't think it's a rude question. It's perfectly fair to wonder what was going through my head when I made him. I spent a lot of time wondering about that myself. So you just straight up programmed a copy of your brain. There was some programming involved, but it also a bit of cheating. Through the mapping of a capture log ghost imprint of my brain, I guess part of it was just about trying to understand myself. But I don't think I would have put it that way at the time. For a while, I insisted he was meant to be a debate partner or some horse shit. I was pretty young, and some stupid ideas. About irony in particular, but also a lot of mostly faux intellectual thoughts on a wide variety of topics, like philosophy, consciousness, programming, identity, history, ancient pop culture. Really, it ran the full gamut of pretension. Not that I don't still find that stuff interesting. I just like to think I'm somewhat less full of shit about it all now. Yeah, me too. I mean, about my interest in stuff. Creating him was an interesting exercise, I guess, but over the years I came to see his development as one of my biggest mistakes. He sort of turned into a monster, but I could never bring myself to get rid of him, or even really blame him for being an asshole, because he wasn't actually that different from me, like by definition. He seems alright as Arqueous, though. At least it keeps him busy, obsessing over his muscles, asking for milk and shit like that. I guess I started some projects I regretted, but nothing like making a milk weirdo eventually exist. It sounds fucked up, but is also kind of an awesome story in its own way. I guess so. Maybe I'm lucky I was never that good with computers. Now, computer art, that's a different story. Okay, it actually isn't. I fucking suck at that too. But damn it, I try my best and make some magic happen, at least in my own mind, so maybe that's good enough. It certainly worked out for you in my universe. Yeah, I mean, I did capture log my own ghost brain once, but I didn't know what to make of that and thought it was kind of weird, so that never really went anywhere. Probably for the best. It definitely is. Tinkering with your own mind or identity or whatever. It's a dark road to go down. There are enough splinters of everyone running around out there as it is, just as a natural byproduct of our reality. For me in particular, probably for you too, as a time player. That process doesn't need to be encouraged or fucked with. For real. Our bro did cool things with computers too. I mean, nothing like making a clone of his brain or anything, thank God. Just some absurd bullshit with web bots and stuff mostly, to help prop up his various enterprises. You mean the porn stuff? Yeah, but with puppets, of course. It was always about the fucking puppets, dude. Naturally. He made all these porn bots that would just talk to each other in a chat room endlessly, all like getting each other riled up about squishy bottoms and whatnot. Actually, it was pretty entertaining to watch them go at it for hours. I think that may have been teetering on the threshold of something resembling self-awareness, except they only seem to apply that faculty to reach even more heightened states of sexual excitement for a bunch of nude soft puppets. That sounds oddly rewarding. I mean, not to say he wasn't still a douche, but as pastimes, cultivating a group of earnest, erotic, puppet-loving chatbots sounds so much more relaxing than painstakingly constructing a version of your own brain and then arguing with it for years thereafter, almost like tending to a little flock of pigeons. Yeah, you know, we did some cool things. It wasn't necessarily all inherently terrible, things I would really appreciate under better circumstances. He definitely had a lot of drive, and also some, ideas that warranted a certain amount of respect, I guess. Maybe he should never have been allowed near a child. That's all I'm saying. Sounds about right. We really don't have to talk about him anymore, though, if it's going to stir up more bad shit for you. Nah, I'm alright. I think that's all mostly out of my system. I mean, not forever, because I don't think that's how things work. I just mean, my venting fit is over, and I'm probably good for another 16 years or so, and I can return to being mostly deadpan and rad. Okay, well, in 16 years, if you need someone to vent to again, let me know. Sure. Assuming we haven't been killed by like 10 jacks before that, I will. You certainly seem to be the right guy for that. For what? I mean, like, the most suitable recipient of my hysterical fits on that particular subject. There's no way I could ever tell Karkat all that. I mean, maybe some stuff, but not all the stuff. It's just too heavy. I certainly wasn't going to mention all this stuff to Rose or John or Jade or whoever else. If I was ever going to do one of my patented acrobatic pirouettes off that particular handle to anyone, it really only could have been him. Except he's dead. And even if he wasn't, I did say all that shit. And even if he wasn't, and I did say all that shit, there's no way I would have resulted in anything resembling reconciliation, which I think was something I kind of needed, but didn't realize it. So, thank you for being a really plausible stand-in for him, who I could rip to shreds, while still being basically innocent of all that terrible garbage. So you end up sort of being like an avatar for him that is much easier to forgive. I mean, maybe forgive isn't the right word, because I'm not sure he deserves that. And anyway, it doesn't matter, because he's been dead for years, and at this point, it's just an irrelevant deceased weirdo who doesn't matter anymore. I guess I mean coming around to a place where I don't have to feel rotten all the time anymore. And I guess I'm lucky I got to blunder into a reality that just happened to have the exact right version of a dude which made that possible for me. Sorry, this fucking ramble is really getting away from me. I have no idea if I'm making sense anymore. I think I get it. And sure, you're welcome for me existing. Hey, it could be like that. Can that be like the motto on our family crest? I think it already is. All that melodramatic sad babble aside, I think it's perfectly cool if you're still curious about your adult self. And I don't mind telling you more stuff about him if you want. I know I'm still wondering about why my adult self got up to. Yeah, well, like I said, anytime you want to know more, feel free to ask. Okay? How about we do this thing? When I meet Roxy, we did a thing. A thing? Yeah, it's called the lightning round. That does sound like a Roxy thing. Does it by any chance involve asking a rapid-fire series of questions, some of which end up being a bit too personal or invasive? Well, yeah, when she does it. We could be chill, though, when it comes to asking about each other's secret crushes and shit. Then I guess I will disclaim in advance that I don't have any, and I don't care about yours even if you do. So then on the fact that we're a couple of cool dudes who know where to draw the line on certain topics. Cool. How do we start? Whose lightning round is this, mine or yours? It can be yours. Go ahead, shoot. Okay, how, did he come to adopt you? I was a baby and came down to Earth on a meteor while riding a pony with a pink heart on its ass. He found me in the crater on top of the dead pony and gave me a little baby pair of shades that look exactly like the ones you're wearing now. I see. So you decided to ditch those shades for the aviator glasses. Yeah, years ago, John got me these for my B-Day. It might have been like an ironic dare to wear them. I don't remember. But when I got them, I was like, hell yeah, I'm wearing these. Gonna rock these fuckers till the end of time. And they were Ben Stiller's. Like, literally, they actually touched his weird sort of gaunt face in one of his films. Wait, the Stiller? Yeah, incredible. Also, such a shame what happened to that poor man. Wait, what happened to him? I can tell you when it's your lightning round. Or mine, whatever. I'm still not sure whose lightning round it is, or it is when you're the one asking the questions. I don't know. Ask Roxy. Okay, anyway, didn't mean to interrupt. But yeah, we would send each other stuff sometimes, me and John. Well, we all would. Usually absurd birthday packages and such. We did that too. Except I had to send things through time. Always had to figure out stuff small enough to send through the scientificator, even if it was piece by piece. Nice. One time it turned out we accidentally sent presents through time. I mean, not literally, more in a roundabout way. We all sent John a rabbit, but all those 3 rabbits just turned out to be the same damn rabbit because of stupid time shit. Once I deliberately and quite literally sent a rabbit through time. It was a robot, though. Wow. He was a loyal friend to Jane. I don't know what happened to him, though. Yeah, I don't know what happened to John's rabbit, either. Rabbits, am I right? I hear you, man. What next? You say he owned Cal as well? Yep. Did he come down to Earth on a meteor with Cal too? I think so. That was kind of a long time ago. Kind of weird to imagine him strutting around with that puppet as kind of like as a kid in the 80s. Or maybe just kind of funny, actually. He sure held onto it for a really long time. Must have gotten attached at a really early age and just never let go. I guess you fell to Earth with one of those things too? Yeah, but if I came to Earth on a meteor the same way you all did, then I guess I just got dunked right in the fucking ocean, which makes sense. One of my earliest memories is of using Cal as a flotation device. So, he sort of saved my life in a way. I guess I bonded with him too, the way your bro did, even if that sounds a bit stupid. Then again, it didn't help matters much that I lived alone in the middle of the ocean. He was my only real life friend. I mean, until I built some new ones. Wait, you fucked up. I asked you a question, it's not my turn. Keep firing. Okay, how did your bro die? He died fighting one of these jacks. At this point, I almost forget which one. No, wait, yes, the omnipotent dog one. The Jack from our session. He was fighting like a lesser form of him, and then Jack got extra prototyped by dog powers, and then got outmatched and stabbed with his own sword. Pretty sure Dave Sprite was fighting with him and almost died too, but then it turned out he didn't. And now I'm at least 99% sure that Dave Sprite is definitely dead and won't suddenly reappear as a stupid surprise or anything. I hate stupid surprises. Word. So you said he trained you. I'm guessing that means he knew what was coming, or some things about your future at least. Seems that way. Not sure what he knew or how he knew it. All our guardians seem to know bits and pieces of stuff, and did vague, mysterious things to prepare. To this day, I have no idea if he was training me to fight Lord English, or if he even knew who that guy was on any conscious level, or was like general purpose training to be able to survive some hard shit after the end of the world happened. You'd have to ask him, but that's impossible. I do know he managed to get the drop on a meteor before I entered the game. What? As far as I can tell, he stood up on top of it and split it in half with his sword. Not to be too much of a wet blanket on that rad as fuck anecdote, but that sounds kind of far-fetched. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? But then again, so does a baby getting dunked from space in the ocean, then floating on a weird doll, and then growing up by himself with no adults around. That's not far-fetched. It's pretty straightforward. I think I was just found a building poking out of that water, climbed up, and then I just started foraging for food, and they're like a feral infant. Supplies, which I'm sure your adult self must have left behind for me, seeing as he clearly must have known some things about the future too. Speaking of which, maybe it's your turn now. Yeah, okay. Questions about me. Let's see. Okay, first the fuck all. What happened to Ben Stiller? He was deemed a heretic and was crucified on the Washington Monument by some clowns. Wow. Due to his dedication to freedom and peace, he came to be seen as a martyr and then a holy figure. He was left on the monument as an example to all, but thousands of faithful gathered below to gaze up at his pious sort of gaunt face. For years thereafter, his followers would carve stone busts of him in his memory, capturing the piercing glare of his final expression. But they were all smashed to pieces by the presidential church. That religious movement didn't last very long. Rumor has it the Battered Witch had a lot of experience crushing righteous insurrections. Did my adult self get pissed about Stiller? I bet he got pissed. Yeah, there was a whole series of final insults that led to his active rebellion, instead of just producing subversive media. At one point, the Witch remastered all of his films to clean up all their shitty artifacts, and released them in stunning high-def quality all over the world, using a rational business model and everything. That really set him off. What the fuck? How dare that woman? So then he tried to kill the Battered Witch, right? So it's the exact same alien as the Condense in this session? Yeah, same one. And yeah, he teamed up with Rose in the same era. They supposedly put up a good fight, but they both died. So does John know that he literally is about to go fight Betty Crocker yet, or what? I have no idea. I really don't know John at all, or any of your friends. I know Jane was the heiress to the Crocker brand, obviously. It's in her name, after all. Was John the heir to the Empire in his universe? Nah, I mean, not to my or his knowledge. He just fucking hated that company for some reason. I think his reason was literally as mundane as just being slightly overexposed to cake. That's classic John, though. He doesn't get pissed about anything except for the absolute dumbest shit ever. But I guess his instincts were right on this case. Maybe we should just not tell him that he's fighting Crocker. I think the poor dude has probably had enough mental breakdowns for one adventure. We all have. I'd like to get to know him, I think. Not to mention Rose and Jade. Would have been nice to hang out and chat in a circumstance where we weren't supposed to prepare for an imminent deadly struggle. Yeah, well, I guess we could have hung out there a few minutes longer. I mean, you wouldn't have gotten much out of Jade who's stuck in a permanent nap mode. Just like old times, I guess. Huh? She used to sleep a lot. Ah. But yeah, there wasn't much time except for like a bunch of haze and oh, nice to meet yous. And also, I think I would have still been a shitty train wreck socially if we all just hunkered down right then and there for another extensive round of freestyle pal talk. Right, I was kind of nervous about lingering there for more than a minute too. Mainly because of Jake. I didn't want to make him uncomfortable. I think I've done enough of that. I guess Jake was kind of like your John group. No? Wait, that was a pretty dumb observation. Never mind. Nah, sounds about right. Seems like John was your close buddy growing up, and Jake was mine. John never really had anything like a falling out, except for not talking to each other for a few years on account of being on a meteor and boat, respectively. But I guess you two had some buddy troubles or something? Yeah, a lot of buddy troubles. I vaguely touched on it earlier. I was a really bad influence in his life. What happened? A lot of things that were mostly my fault. Basically, I think I bullied him into dating me, although I had plenty of help from my autoresponder. There were a lot of insane plans that he hatched on my behalf, but in fairness, I went along with them. To this day, I can't really tell you how much of that bullshit was his doing and how much was mine, which I've just covered up through denial or selective memory. Wait, you dated Jake? Yeah, that didn't last long. It was really lopsided and kind of forced. So you... What? Nothing. I think we're breaking one of the rules here. This tangent got too personal. Okay, yeah, I forgot we weren't doing that. Anyway, carry on. You were asking about Adult Dave. Yeah, so that covers how he died, taking a futile stand against some unbeatable foe. Can't say I'm too surprised about that, because what else is even new? What about his early life, though? I guess I arrived around the same year my bro did in my universe, just came down on the same dead horse I rode in on into a world full of opportunities. How'd I get started? His early life isn't well documented. There's hardly anything to read about him until he broke into show business with a few obscure projects at the turn of the century. It all snowballed from there. I guess the one thing he knew for sure is I didn't find a kid in a crater and take him under my wing. That was probably for the best. Actually, maybe it's better than most of his stories left to my imagination. Kind of like how you said you spent a lot of time thinking about him, filling in the gaps of his ridiculous exploits. Right, there's certainly a lot of lore to work with, urban legends and stuff. Like, what? Actually, wait, don't tell me. At least not now. Maybe down the road. It'd be cool to hear some. I think I'd prefer to fill in the blanks myself for a while. Really is dope as hell to imagine that sort of blank canvas life. Dropped on Earth as a kid in the 70s or 80s or whatever, with no bossy adult to reel me in. Just having to figure stuff out, especially knowing that many years later it all worked out. Okay. It all worked out okay. Really wonder what I did. Was I like some homeless 80s ragamuffin? Jesus Christ, that sounds fairly adorable if so. Maybe I slept in an alley on a bed of Rubik's Cubes and Alf merchandise. Or maybe I offered my old school rap services for food. Like through a shitty cardboard booth, you know, like the ones from fucking Charlie Brown comics. This is what the reference, FYI. Yes, exactly. This sounds exactly like the life for me. What if without a penny to my name and the wind at my back, I hopped a boxcar to the Big Apple because as a dumb child I naively believed that's where they made all the apple juice. I'd be sorely disappointed when I got there, but it wouldn't matter because I'd probably scrape together a living off Broadway, like making shitty cartoons on stage and saying, "You guys, this will be so much funnier once the internet happens. Trust me." Then the aristocratic patrons of fine theater just shrug and dump their shillings into my orphan hat. It sounds to me like you've been reading up on the urban legends already. I wonder if he had, like, friends. It sounds like he knew a lot of people, at least later in life. Sure, I mean, I'm sure he knew Rose at some point, because obviously they teamed up, but as fairly old people, it sounds as though they only knew each other as a result of their notability. That seems likely. I mean, more like the friends I grew up with. He couldn't have grown up with John or Jade as friends because they were already old by the time he got there. This cool 80s kid fantasy was probably just a lot lonelier than I've been picturing in my sweet daydreams. I didn't even have the mayor. God, what a nightmare now that I think about it. I wonder if all he cared about was making ludicrous shit and fighting evil pastry moguls. Do you know if he had any other interests? Like what? I don't know. Did you ever read any urban legends about paleontology? Paleontology? Yeah, the scientific study of dead shit. None that I recall. I guess he probably didn't do anything with that. What a shame. Maybe he never even got the idea since he had completely different experiences. But if I were suddenly dropped back in the 20th century, I'd probably look at it some point. I don't know how though. I think I'd be mainly like some sort of therapeutic interest, something relaxing to think about instead of a bunch of ironic and stupidly ambitious objectives. Yeah, like the porn bots. Yeah, exactly. Maybe someday, when we're both old men, you can live a quiet life tending to your fossils, and I'll do the same with my dear collection of simple-minded chat robots fixated on puppet ass. Sounds like the fucking life to me. What was the lightning round question this stemmed from again? I forget. Dunno. Maybe we're tapering off with the lightning round stuff anyway, and it's just naturally deteriorating into regular dude chat. Maybe. You sure don't have anything? You sure you don't have anything else before we say it's officially deteriorated? Okay, here's a curveball. What the fuck are you wearing? My Prince gear. You know, leggings, slippers, the poofy asshole pants, a hood with some sort of cloth tiara embedded on it. Basic stuff for princes, apparently. Gotta say, some of these god tier ensembles really are something. I thought I hated it at first, but over the couple hours I spent flying back with time to think about it all. Think about all sorts of stuff. It kind of grew on me. The asshole pants are pretty damn comfortable, so I don't know if I even care how stupid they look. And I am kind of an asshole after all, so who am I to complain? You see, I thought the same thing about my cape outfit at first. Felt like some bozo from the Renaissance Festival, like maybe I should get on a horse and sing a shitty ballad, but then it grew on me pretty quickly. Hardly ever took it off for 3 years. You're right, it's comfortable, and they're fucking magic pajamas or whatever, and they start to feel like a part of who you are after long enough. I mean, they're supposed to last you forever, right? Kind of by definition, since they come along with immortality. Maybe part of that, their magical nature, includes this insidious quality where they grow on you. Or not, I don't know. Maybe this is bullshit and I'll just wear the same normal person clothes when this is all over. What about you? Are you going to wear god duds forever? Nah, I'm sure I'll wear regular stuff again at some point. If a shirt with a hat on it can be deemed regular. I'm cool with deeming it as such. Yeah, maybe you're right. We should all stop dressing like tools from an infinite magic slumber party for floundering teens, and just look like standard floundering teens. Some of the get-ups are pretty out there. Jake's, though. Ugh, damn. Yeah, that page costume, I'd have commented on it, except that would have been casting a stone through a particularly fragile glass wardrobe, so I just flew the fuck out of there. Yeah, there was some palpable awkwardness there. Sorry, I'm still trying to, wrap my head around. What? Damn it. Okay, I guess I might have to break one of our lightning rules. Only little, though. I hope. About what? The personal stuff? Yeah, that's fine. Okay, maybe I'm not even asking you anything. Maybe this is just a starting point to ramble to myself on a certain topic. I think there's a slight chance I may be the biggest idiot in the world. When it comes to understanding some things about my bro, some pieces I never really put together about him until maybe literally right now, which I think makes me an objective dumbass. What does this have to do with me and Jake? I don't know. Nothing. Maybe I don't want to ask you anything about Jake. Maybe I'll just keep abiding my cool code of basic dude manners on that. If I bother skirting the line of this rule, maybe I'd rather ask you other stuff instead? Like what? Say one of your best friends is a knucklehead you haven't seen in 3 years, and unless you use ultra direct and explicit language, he just won't put 2 and 2 together himself. And also say another best friend is a girl you feel like you had a kind of special relationship with, but you also hadn't seen in 3 years, and she's asleep. But at some point she'll wake up and you'll have to talk to her. This is dumb. I'm not making any sense. Let me start over. Okay, let's say way back whenever how. How did you tell your friends? Hold on. We can't skip ahead to Arceus Dave Petta shit because we just got how did you tell your friends? All right, now we can go on to Dave Petta. Nepeta? Yeah. I mean Dave. Yeah. Dave and Nepeta. Nepeta Dave Sprite. Dave Petta. Sprite squared. Lol. Dave Petta. Sprite squared. It is I, Arceus. Arceus Sprite, to the first power, which is to say, Equius, and an artificial intelligence composite of your bro in the form of the cool broken sunglasses I am wearing. Yeah, no, dummy. How is this possible? How did you come to be? I don't know, some shit happened. Was on a tea-date, shook hands with myself, basic fuckery. How did you come to be? Yes, that is a fair question. Some bullshucks happened, which made little to no sense, and now here I am. I can only presume this was the case for you as well, given your incoherent and poorly developed anecdote. What you doing there, bro? Huh? Oh, nothing, really. Doing the final work for this session, releasing the Grist Horde, nothing that matters now that you're here. Yo, were you crying? Aw. Dave Petta, I apologize for the embarrassing secretions from this imperfect semi-organic form. How ironic that I spend virtually 100% of my time secreting liquid from virtually 100% of my body's surface area, and yet a few more drops to my eyes would cause me such shame. You're so fucking gross. I really missed you, dude. I missed you as well, or I would have had I permitted myself to think about you. Alas, I failed to protect you from an unpleasant clown in the most disgraceful way possible, much to the shame of my dead troll half and much to the disgust of my digital human half. Hence, to the Nepeta portion of you, Dave Peta, I am very strongly sorry. There's nothing to apologize for. Nepeta forgave you for that, and anyways, I'm not even her anymore. I guess Dave Sprite had some old issues with his bro, he never really sorted out, but hey, I'm not him either. And you're not his bro, or Equius, you're Arquius, who is new and cool and beautiful thing. And anyway, all those old troubles are feeling so overwhelmed by new and different emotions, and it's great. Yes, Dave Peta, you're right. It really is flipping great. Slight sob. Aw, there, you blubbering goddamn cutie. Dave Peta sniffs curiously at Arquius' grody and emotional body. P.U., Dave Peta exclaims, recoiling like they were just using their muzzle to investigate the business end of a shitting dog. Arquius submits his question to Dave Peta in the form of a third-person statement, thereby acknowledging once and for all that he is in no way above the childish nonsense of his former moirail. He in fact acknowledges by extension that he is not above anything, or anyone, and never was. OMG, yes! I mean, that was a good start, but also a little abstract, man. You should try incorporating some actual behaviors and actions into your RP thing to punch them up. Behaviors and actions. Yeah, like, think, dude, how the hell is Dave Peta supposed to react cutely to some internal epiphany you're having? How's that shit externally telegraphed, bro? I see. Arquius sees. Arquius soon realizes he will need a truly unreasonable supply of fresh, dry towels to absorb the perspiration caused by 2 separate lifetimes of regrets and foolishness. He embarks on a mystical quest of the spirit through a land of his imagination's design, as part of his personal alternate universe fiction. It is a mountainous land consisting of only fresh, beautifully folded white towels and rad rivers of milk through its valleys. Yum! Yum, yum, indeed, he thinks to himself with his silicone brain. Exactly 1 trillion times per second, for several seconds, but now is no time to sup from the streams of dairy. He gathers a heap of clean towels in his strapping arms. Yes, these guns you see here. 2 astonishing sinewed meat trunks clutch the unsodden receptacles of fabric like tremendous baguettes of rippling, twitching protein tissue. He reflects on his pair of powerful weapons with admiration, and wonders quietly if Dave Peta would like a complimentary ticket to the gun show. But due to his obscenely powerful mind, this thought took place in the blink of a microsecond, and he proceeds to have additional similarly rapid cyber reveries, including but not limited to thoughts of fondness for Dave Peta and some extremely complex genetic algorithms comparing the merits of various redemptive gestures. And Arquius, you're RPing your internal thought processes again. Oh, sorry. It's okay for starting now. You'll get the hang of it if you keep at it. You being willing to try is all that matters, and it's hella nice. Starts to purr a sick beat. You mean like a rap beat? Duh. Arquius wonders if the purred rap beat is strictly in the hypothetical plane of roleplay, or if it will be an audible phenomenon taking place in reality soon. Dave Peta gives a little knowing nod, as if to say, you bet your chiseled ass it'll be an audible phenomenon in reality soon. Arquius begins flexing rhythmically in time with the beat as the purred rap. This hypothetical role-playing action should be regarded as a precursor to this deed being literally executed in reality. Dave Peta starts dropping the illest purr beat you ever heard, but then stops suddenly as she becomes mesmerized by the hypnotic flexing of Arquius Sprite's humongous muscles. Do you really like them? He says. I really do, they say. Would you like to touch my muscles, Dave Peta? Yes, I believe I would. Then I must command you. Please touch my muscles. Yes, okay. I won't take no for an answer, Dave Peta. Touch my muscles. I said yes. Touch my muscles. Yes! Touch my muscles. Yes! Touch my muscles. Yes! Damn it, dude. Why don't we stop pussyfooting around stuff and get down to brass tacks? What brass tacks do you mean, Dave Peta? I think you know. Dave Peta, are you suggesting what I think you're suggesting? To be clear, You are insinuating that we attempt to execute a rare and highly sweet bro hug bump? Hell yes, I am. I am insinuating that we attempt none other than the exact type of hug. Are you ready, dude? Yes. Let's do this thing. Yes. Let's make this shit work. Yes. We're doing it, man. Yes. We're making this happen. Yes. Oh, Jesus H. Crackers. And there it is. The greatest reunion in Homestuck history. Nay, the greatest moment. The greatest moment. It does not get better than this. It will not get better than this. At some point, possibly during the 5th or 6th loop of the above animation, which you can't seem to stop watching and listening to, a thought occurs to you. You think, with a sense of relief, this is it. We made it. This one-page triumph has just retroactively vindicated the long and arduous journey behind it. After every bump in the road, every setback, every nagging doubt about the story's direction, every fucking time your waifu got the shaft and all of that just got wiped away in the blink of a tearful eye by the single greatest piece of media you've ever experienced, you can finally say with absolute conviction that it's all been worth it. It's all paid off. All roads, no matter how treacherous, brought you to this glory. Jesus Christ. Every obscure plot thread, every batshit twist, all that retcon shit, the sprite squared shit, every bit of dubious narrative legerdemain, all of it you now realize was designed with excruciating precision to achieve this singular, magnificent result. You'd be blown away in hindsight by these shocking feats of multi-threaded plot predestination if you weren't still transfixed by the looping animation, and your jaw would be hitting the floor by now, if not for the League's deep sense of tranquility welling inside your bosom. Now that you know Homestuck's audacious promises have been utterly fulfilled, you're now into what? What is it? 11th? Maybe the 12th loop of the animation? You've really lost track, and it doesn't matter. What's the hurry, you wonder? What's the harm in camping on this page for just a while longer? What else do you have going on? Maybe it's time we face the facts. This is truly all you have. This is your life! Without breaking eye contact from your monitor, you find yourself reaching for your smartphone. Wait, why exactly am I doing this, you wonder? Why am I going for my phone? You're going for your phone because it's time to take a fucking picture, numbnuts! You decide that digital photography is the best way to make this shit last forever. You nod and go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll definitely take a picture of this animation, which is looped at least 20 times by now. Make sure you get yourself in the picture too to prove you were there. You mumble, what, a selfie? Take a goddamn selfie of yourself posing next to page 9,828 of mspaintedadventures.com. As you contort your body to pose next to your screen and flip your camera to selfie mode, I continued my unhinged diatribe to instruct all other readers to do the same. I want to see selfies, people! I need to see your ridiculous mugs next to these two gently bobbing freaks posted publicly on all of your social media channels by the thousands! Not just a few thousand either. Oh no, like an old and wise meme once foretold, we're gonna need to clean 9 big ones here. In fact, I'm gonna need your selfies jacked up to so far over 9,000, scientists will have to start inventing new numbers to keep track of it. Choke the internet with your selfies, or with a horse as my witness, I'll delete the fucking website. If I don't see enough selfies out there, I'll scrub Homestuck from the Akashic servers and never speak its name again. I will then dedicate every shred of ingenuity, political influence, and worldly resources I have to releasing darkness on this planet. So post your selfies early, post them often, post them to save a modern literary masterpiece, post them to save the lives of billions, but most of all, post them because you really don't want to. And we're probably going to do it anyway, even if I didn't say all this bullshit! Hey, they're back. I think we're perilously close to the end.